Hello, my name is Carx82 and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. You may notice I got some raw Tengam ore going on here. That is because I have fixed my ore gen. It was a config file and I screwed that up, so I basically just replaced the config file with the correct version from the update and respawn the world. And now it is getting, as we can see, it's getting ores. So, yep, that was totally my fault. I kind of figured it was. Just didn't realize that was the problem. So thanks for mentioning it. Letting me get it fixed. Alright, so I'm just going to let that run for a little while. I do have a whole bunch of different ender chests, as you can see. It's from each of the different worlds, because sometimes I don't necessarily want, like, this was kind of like an old when I needed bismuth before I could get it on the space elevator, and zeolite. I don't remember why we needed that, but yeah, so they're actually just turned off and not running, obviously. And like dash and meteoric iron we needed, but I don't need it anymore, so I just have it turned off, and then I can just turn it back on. If I just flip that, it'll empty out the chest and it'll turn the void miner back on, shatter iron and tartarite and stuff. Just random little things that I can't get from the space elevator. This is just a random, this is like all our old void miners that we had, but most of that is replaced by the space elevator. So, alright, that's cool. We got our Tengam. I should probably, I haven't fully figured out what I'm doing with this yet. It is just being processed in just a very small single block thing, but it's we'll probably, I don't know, I'll just leave it for now. I'm sure one of these needs to go in here because it'll start filling up this drives, but it's not like super fat, probably raw. Yep, it just jumped up by 2,000, so if I don't, this will probably clog everything up. There we go. And there it goes. Cool. All right, so that's going. I'll probably do a PA processing assembly for a bunch of those electromagnetic things, but I'll worry about that in a bit. All right. I accidentally filled the input hatch when I was moving the void miner with the wrong fluid. Okay, so last episode we got the DTPF all upgraded, and to be honest, we're basically just going to be trying to get it upgraded yet again to hypogen, and I just basically need lots of hypogen coils, which the main thing is the hypogen, and then we are going to need a decent amount of UEV circuits as well, so that's something I'm going to have to deal with now. I don't think I'm going to do... I don't think it would be worth it doing optical computers. We'll just go with bio mainframes at this point. And then I'm just thinking, because hypogen does require a decent amount of infinity. So 10 ingots of infinity. I mean, we just literally like crafted up thousands of ingots, so not sure why I'm like overly worried about that. Don't know how many Oh, we're breaking our computer. Yep. This is probably the bio mainframes. Most of this is bio mainframes. I'll look into that. I just kind of wanted to see how many actual ingots of hypogen we needed. All right, I'm not loving the infinity recipe on this thing. I think I'm going to remove that. And we'll just continue crafting them up the old way. At least until we can get this upgraded. Is it hypogen we can do? I think it's hypogen, right? That's the one we can do now. Yeah, it might be more worth it. Oh, that is 50 buckets. It's 50 buckets for being a stack of infinity. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But I think for now, we'll probably just stick with the old way. Producing infinity, I think. Okay, as I've got the space elevator running again, I should just have that running permanently, but I don't know, it just feels weird. I have gone ahead and I was trying to decide where I wanted to set up this thing for, oops, thought I had it up there. Energized tesseracts, because we are going to need them, so I figured why not get this set up. It's not a fast, slow recipe or anything, but it does require UIV. So I was thinking maybe I'll just upgrade our things over there, and I realized I didn't have room for a output hatch, or I had room, but I didn't feel like sorting it out. So I'm like, let's just set it up over here. I have 4 of them over here, and I also decided I wanted to test these. I should use these more. I just haven't really gotten into it yet. So the raw tesseract requires this quantum anomaly, which we can craft up now. Raw tesseract, and you get that and that. So I added some output buses along with the output hatches, so we're good there. And then I'm guessing this is what that means, the place manual items, I think. I could be wrong, but there is a pattern. It's a bit hard to see just because it's not much to it, but yeah, so it is in there. I have it set to 20, which is the laser engraver, so I'm hoping this will work. So it should be one of these that should start up if we do this. So energized. So I don't remember why I have a random thing of europium. All right. Okay, that looks like it's actually doing it. So yeah, those things are definitely cool. I like those crafting input things, because I mean, just being able to put it directly in there, not having to worry about the patterns, you know, all this kind of craziness. You could just put them all in there, and we are getting sort of close-ish to the one that can do fluids as well. But unfortunately, that does require molten space-time. But you know, we're at the right tier. I think we are, you know, getting close. We do need to upgrade our DTPF to get molten spacetime, but I mean, hypogen, infinity, energized tesseract, I mean, we have most of it now. Now this stuff, transcendent, I think it's only like a byproduct is what I'm I seem to be noticing. So you get it when you're crafting other stuff up. Also, I'm like just noticing we could craft up some. There's quite a bit of other stuff that we could craft up if we wanted to. It just depends on what coil we have. Like I just noticed the superconductor base UV, which to be honest we don't use a ton of, but yeah, you can. I mean, you can craft up a whole bunch of it all at once if you wanted. Like bedrock me wouldn't do, especially with 100 buckets of that stuff. Although that is just the very basic one, so I don't know. Okay, so what I was basically saying is, oh, look at that. You can convert that into neutronium. We could actually do it right now. That's a decent amount of neutronium, but I do have the other thing, crafting neutronium up from combs. So bees are producing neutronium. All right, so there is some lots of cool recipes on this thing. But the residue is what, yeah. It seems to be just a byproduct, so I don't want to like void it ever because we are gonna need it. It looks like. All right, but we do have that, and that does produce a byproduct of that too. Yep, there is our exotic catalyst, so that is cool. All right. So I think as I'm working towards the hypogen coils, I think I'm going to work on maybe the UIV components. Because now we got our Tengam finally sorted out. We got transcendent metal, infinity wire, and another star cable. All right, so we got a few things I need to sort out here, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we can go about doing this. I wonder what, when I eventually upgrade the component assembly line, I don't know what tier to go up to. But okay, yeah, let me get some recipes crafted up and see if we can get our first UIV component. Alright, I have gone ahead and got a couple of the components done, the motor and the pump, and now I am actually crafting up the next tier of superconductor. And I think we got everything here. There was a couple things I had to sort out. I needed to get a recipe for that. I needed to do a couple recipes here, solidifier, macerate kind of thing for that. And as we can see, we have bismuth plasma is one of the requirements for it. So I did set it up on my mixer. I really need to sort out this mixer. It is absolutely crazy underneath, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. So it works. It is just so like, I hate looking at it. But I have gone ahead and upgraded this. I have upgraded our assembler, the regular assembler multi-block, and I have, you know, I'm actually going to throw a block there because that's a UHV machine, and I don't want to accidentally connect it with this. I don't like, makes me a little nervous having that there, but I've disconnected all the scrap because I don't think we need scrap really. And yeah, so crafting up the next tier of superconductor because we need to get the assembly line upgraded. We need to do UMV, and the only way to do that is to do 2 of the UIV circuits or energy hatches. So I am just working on that, but now we have everything. We got our transcendent, we got our radox. All these are easy, although that does use it uses 48 each of those. That's a lot. But we have pico wafers now. We have all this stuff. Osmium, EU matter, mutated living solder, all the stuff. Okay, I do need to get that going, although that's not too terrible. Yeah, and then I will upgrade our assembly lines. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Actually, I think that's what I have to do. Yeah, we'll switch those out for UIV. You could even maybe get new buffer. I like having the little buffers there. I know some people think it's crazy, but I don't know. I like them. I just think it's fun having them there. I was just thinking, I'm like, do I want to do both of them? It gets a pain when you, since it splits the recipes, I never know which one it's going to go in. So if I like upgrade this side and then it goes in there, it's just a kind of a pain. I don't know. Like, eventually they both need to be upgraded, obviously. The main reason I want to do this is because for some reason this is locked behind that. It's locked behind that recipe, and I don't know if it's, I mean, these, like, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything in here that require, is it the field generator? The field generator. That's probably why it's locked behind it. Okay. I was kind of curious why, like, the components, because I can make most of these. I can't make the field generator, though, because that requires those circuits. All right, so that explains why this is locked behind this. But I wanted to get this done anyway. So we can continue moving forward. Also, we are going to be able to get our Tier 3 nanoforge. Look at that. We got our energized tesseracts we've already crafted up. I don't feed it that much power, so I'm going to have to sort that out. But that is a UHV. I think I did. Didn't we do? What did I do over there? Yeah, UHV 1. I don't really want to do. I don't want to feed it the full amount because that pulls. I don't want to like pull every single drop of power into the multi-block because that will break stuff. But all right. Also, why is that negative? I don't know. All right, cool. So there is that. Oh, I already did recipes to actually smelt it. Pretty sure we can smelt it. Also, I really like that color. That's like a really nice, it's just a satisfyingly, it looks satisfying, that color. Yeah, I guess we could go directly to that. I don't know how long that is going to take to smelt. Really? Is that it? Only 15 seconds? I didn't even look at the recipe, to be honest. I know we have, like, we're feeding it 500 million. Not gonna lie, those lasers... Yeah, there we go. It actually, it did. Not gonna lie, the lasers do make things quite a bit easier. I think that's probably the superconductor right there. The 40-second one. All right, and then we have the pump. We should be able to get these. Oops, missed that one. And then I think everything else we are good. Now, I probably won't start. That's not what I wanted. Tiny pipe. Probably won't start using these wires. I know, like, some people have mentioned that I should use infinity cables because they're easier and they handle like thousands of amps. Yep, 8,000 amps. I may switch those. I really prefer using the correct tier. And the reason for that is I'm not going to like, I would have to do like a crazy setup to set it up. But if you are putting down, say like, although those are the same tier, but two different rear lane cables. Like this is UEV. Let me just get the other one so it's easier to see. And UHV cables like next to it like this. And then say I have a UHV machine or an energy hatch or something like that at the end of this wire. If I accidentally connect these and send UEV power down these lines, if I have the lower tier wires, these wires just burn up and the energy hatch doesn't blow up. But if I have the infinity cables, which can handle any voltage, it'll send the power down and it'll blow up the energy hatch instead. So that is usually why I do the correct tier cable. If I ever make a mistake, I would much rather the cables burn up from being too high voltage than sending it into a energy hatch. So that is just my personal choice. And what I prefer. It helps with explosions and not sending down the wrong voltage down a line of machines. Like, because imagine if you had like a whole row of machines and you sent down the thing, it would blow up all of them because the cable can transfer it. But yeah, that's just my opinion and what I prefer. That is really slow. All right, did we get the... We did. All right, cool. So I think with that, should be able to craft this up. We are crafting up a bunch of these tesseracts too. I'm noticing, like, because you get 8 from it, but you need quite a few of them to do that. All right, so with that, like, pretty sure we have everything else. Everything else is already... We got recipes for infinite coils. I made recipes for the UIV machine hull, the wires, quantum. We got that, I don't know, 100 episodes ago we've had that. Crafting up the pumps now, and we got our things. Right. Don't think I did that yet, so let me do that. And what was the other one I needed to scan? Shoot, I already forgot. Oh, optical circuit, wasn't it? Optical mainframe I needed to... Yeah, for that circuit. Let me do that, and then UEV energy hatch. I need to research those. Okay, be right back. All right, I think it is time to push our base here and really see where we have some deficiencies. I always like to do that. So I'm crafting up 4 of these energy hatches all at once, and we'll see what happens. As you can see, this is a pretty serious craft here. As we're crafting up 5 of those each, 28 UEV. We got thousands of infinity, lots of optical mainframes, and we're doing different fusion reactor recipes, all sorts. So this is no joke, this recipe. But I think it'll be fun to see what happens. I did actually, when I was looking at the optical, I remembered we have transcendent metal now. And I was thinking of maybe upgrading this. I don't know if that is... I don't know if you're going to be like saving too much resources from this, because it does require more infinity, does require more cables. But it's not... It's the superconductor wires that are a bit painful as opposed to the UEV ones. So I haven't done it yet, and you need a tier 2 module anyway. Like, yeah, that boost up is pretty good, but yeah, it's 4 times better. The This we can craft up. I just haven't. I would need to get recipes for all that stuff, so we're not quite there yet. But that is something on our radar to upgrade the assembler. We are there. So, all right. I also, while we're here, I ended up changing this recipe. Normally it is 1584, but I changed it to one less, and if you right-click your mouse, you can set the amount. Because you do use the one, so you're technically not getting... You're not getting the 1500, you're getting that minus one ingot, because you use that. So I've switched that. The only problem with that is if I do craft up hypogen, we're only going to get enough from this many crafts, because as it's crafting, it's not going to go back in the A system. It's going to go into like the craft or whatever, so this won't fill up as I'm crafting more. So this is kind of the cap. Like I said, I still haven't quite figured out how I want to go about doing that. I might just kind of keep an eye on it and fill this up, you know, with a big amount, with a bigger hatch when I am not crafting other stuff up, until we get the better coils. Because once we get the better coils, we can actually just skip using hypogen to get more hypogen. So as we can see, but we need the next tier up. But then we can just do neutronium, quantum infinity, mix it with some resplendent catalyst, and there you go, you get your hypogen that way. So you don't even need to worry about this part of it. So I will probably just, like I said, fill that up. Or do... actually... Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that too much. We're going to try with the less. Maybe that, since we're going to get extra, the hypogen, since I lowered that, maybe it will feed it back into there. I don't know. We'll see. But like if I did a whole bunch of crafts before it start getting the extra bit amount, it won't go back in there. So it might get stuck. But yeah, we'll worry about that when we need to. Okay, so let me just kind of keep an eye out here. I am crafting up just some more zinc plasma. I did that manually to fill up our zinc. I mean, we use so little of it while we're mixing it with bismuth that I'm not overly worried about that. Also, I just remembered. Yeah, I had some tantalum in the A system from canceling a recipe. And I was trying to get it out, but I didn't know how. I was like, how the heck am I going to get tantalum into all the input hatches? So I threw it on the tank and turned off this. Also, you may notice I have two fluid extractors. I think the ender fluid link covers were being capped out. The throughput wasn't enough to fill all the input hatches we needed, so I've split them off into a couple. Okay, we are done, and didn't have any issues with that, which was kind of surprising. I feel like every time I go to craft up like a big new craft, we have issues somewhere, but yeah, everything just kind of worked. Probably because we already had recipes for like all this stuff, so it wasn't overly complicated. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this. I decided I'm just gonna not worry about the batteries. I like the batteries, but not gonna craft up the next tier because they usually just get thrown back in there and then never used ever again. Let me just do this. I may actually do this a little different. Let me throw those away. Those, just so I don't place the wrong things. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is... There. Just do this, and then we have a transformer. So not gonna replace this yet. These can handle 64 amps of UEV, so we are good. That's... I am gonna do that. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I just, if I'm gonna be transforming up, I really like to make sure I have it down the correct way. All right, so that and that. All right, so it'll only ever do 16. Is it 16? Yeah, it'll be 16 amps of UEV, and then that one can handle 16 amps of UEV. So we have plenty of power over here. All right, so go. Click. Why does that one do 2 and that one did 1? I don't know. I don't get it. And there we go. We have upgraded these to UMV. What is that? Ultimate maximum voltage? Is that what UMZ stands for? But it's no longer like the top. Or is it mega? I don't remember. But with that, I think we can do the... Oh, what's the name of it? That purple eco circuit. I don't have a recipe for. Do that. And there we go. I think I have everything. Not sure if I have. No, I have those because I need screws. Okay. You know, I'm actually going to move down because this is technically higher than that. I think. We don't know. All right. Okay, so I have a couple things I need to do, but overall, not too bad. So, next episode, we'll come back. I will get this crafting up. We'll come back and then we'll see where we go from there. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing the hypogen. And yeah, I think I'm going to fill that. Basically, with the amount of hypogen in here is how many crafts that we can craft up all at once. Because it will fill up at the end once it starts producing the extra bit. But until it gets to the extra bit, it'll get stuck. But yeah, I'm gonna continue working on those coils. But anyway, that's gonna be for today. So thanks for watching and have a good one.